We're into fuel efficiency of diesel truck engines. We're offering manifolds and turbochargers and ECM programming. We also make a wiring harness add-on. The main thing that Diesel Freak focuses on is trying to help make the owner-operator more profitable by burning less fuel.
How about your Van Wagoner truck? And you got your ears on there?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, well, this is one of those nighttime rolling CB interviews. You don't get to do these too much, but I heard you're coming this way, sliding down the turnpike into Florida. So where are you headed to?
I'm headed down towards Miami.
10-4. What you got loaded on that wagon?
Today I'm empty. I unloaded up in Alachua at the Cisco. And now I'm just headed south to start reloading my produce to head back to St. Louis and Chicago.
Well, before we get into what you do with your truck and trailer there, tell me about it.
98P, 379, Caterpillar motor, 3Pro 6E, 13 speed, 355 rear, it's a 13 Great Dane, stainless steel spike spread, carrier unit on it.
What do you think you're making horsepower-wise there?
When we built it 4 years ago, with all the stuff we put in it, it dynoed out at 707 horsepower at the tires.
707 horsepower, that's what that Dodge Hellcat makes there, right?
That's right.
I'd much rather take the Pete there, come on.
I'd rather have this one, that's for sure.
Hey, well, Van Wag, looking at the back of your bunk there, it seems like your truck is called a Midnight Special. Do you prefer running at nighttime?
Oh yeah, I love running at nighttime. It's no traffic on the road. People that are running at night are going somewhere. They got a mission. They're just not out doing shopping or going to lunch or looking at the scenery. Anybody that drives at night is on a mission. They got a purpose and they want to get there. And I think anybody that loves to drive will tell you the same thing, that running at nighttime is just way better than running in the day. There's less traffic and just a lot easier on your stress level.
I can appreciate that. Even during this interview, driving alongside you, there's less to worry about traffic-wise. But at the same time, there's a lot of folks that are out there that depend on what you're carrying there. They're at home, they're asleep, and you're out there doing the deal, getting the job done. So I appreciate you for that. You and everybody else that runs nighttime hours and daytime hours. You guys are getting it done.
Well, thank you very much.
So you got yourself a handful of chicken lights on that truck. How many are you running?
To be honest, somewhere around 765, give or take a few. Every time I count, I lose track. I think I'm somewhere right around the 765 mark. My goal is 1,000. It's just a number that I don't know why. It's just something that I don't think anybody's ever had. But the problem with doing something like that, I don't want it to look gaudy. I don't want it to, some people don't like it now, but that's what I'm going for. I think I can hide a few more here and there right underneath, make it look better. Everything I got on it, the United Pacific, boy, I think I got somewhere in the neighborhood of 250 4-inch LEDs on the truck. The little quarter-size lights, I got a bunch of them. I think there's 150 of those, 350 2-inchers. They're everywhere.
Everywhere, huh? The lights just keep on popping out. Every time you come back to the truck, there's some more lights on it, right?
That's right.
Obviously, you don't have everything hooked up to the same switch. Explain how you got the lights kind of banked out around the truck.
When it was getting the interior put in, Kevin came up with this panel, and he made it so every set of lights anywhere on the truck has its own fuse and own switch.
How long have you owned it for?
Oh boy, let's see. I've been driving it since 2003. I was driving for my stepdad and his company. and he bought himself a new truck, ordered at Kenworth. When he gave it to me to drive in 03, I had 64,000 miles on it. 07, I took it over as my own, and then in 09 is when I got all my own authority. And it was a 260 wheelbase. The original color was black cherry.
What was your inspiration to get the truck from what it was to what it is now?
I had some buddies around that had stretched their trucks out, and I was starting to think that was pretty neat. So we took it down and had it stretched out. We sanded it all down. We ended up painting my frame teal green, and we painted the fenders teal green. Over time, it got redone 2 or 3 times, painted and the fenders redone. And then this last time, 2 years ago, actually right about now, about 2 years ago, I decided that I wanted to do something different. And wanted to go with the black and paint. I hadn't seen any, maybe one out there, and so I just wanted to go for it. I wanted to stand out. I just didn't want to be like a regular truck on the road.
What was your inspiration for the color? You say pink. You just didn't wake up one day and say, hey man, I just want a pink truck.
A buddy of mine showed me a color back in, 3-4 years ago. It was called Hot Wheels Pink, and it was just, I don't remember what it was painted on. I think it was on a motorcycle, and it was just the coolest color that I'd ever seen. And I just decided, I think that's what I want to do. So I just decided, I'm going to use this Hot Wheels Pink and do it black and just be a little bit different than everybody else. I found out what the Hot Wheels Pink was going to cost, and then I had my painter. He found out, and then he went to the paint shop and mixed up something as close as he could get, and what he come up with, I'm more than happy that I got that. I love the color.
And when you see it for the first time, you're like, you kind of look sideways like one of them dogs looking at something, but then you look at it some more and it's like, all right.
I appreciate that.
Well, Van Wag, looking at your truck there, you don't got any door handles. What's going on there?
Oh boy, I was wondering if you were gonna notice that. That's one of the most custom things I got here besides the interior. About 3-4 years ago now, I went down to Joplin, Missouri, down to 4 states, and I had my doors suicided and all the door handles shaved off for that smooth, clean look. It had the poppers installed, and so all the 2 bunk doors and the driver passenger door have been shaved and smoothed, and just the driver passenger door have been suicided.
What other custom parts you got in there?
Custom front American Eagle bumper. Stacks are from A&A Stainless. They're stainless steel stacks. They're out of Miami. My light panels I custom made, same place. My T-bar bumpers custom. All that came from A&A down in Miami. My front fenders are badass custom fenders, fiberglass. Back truck, the drives and the trailer are WTI fenders. I got a high panel in between the tanks. It's more of just a work truck than it is anything else.
There's a lot of love for custom trucks that are made especially to work. What'd you do to the inside? Tell me about all the custom stuff, and throw out some plugs for the people that helped you get it the way you want it.
Boy, if I had to throw out plugs for everybody that helped me, and man, I got a team of people that have helped me. Just about every one of my friends has spent some time helping me. Let's see. I had 3 guys that did inside. Gary Dunnow, he's a custom interior guy, does hot rods. I got a hold of him through another of my buddies, the guy that did the stereo, Kevin Mitchell. Kevin and Gary came up with this idea, and I just let them, I said, hey, you guys do what you guys want to do. I don't care, just come up with something cool. And then there's another guy working there, Jim Dodd. Between Jim and Kevin and Gary, they spent 5 weeks just for the interior alone. Gary did the interior, all the fabric, the walls. They ripped the whole interior out. So the only thing really left that's stock in the truck is the dash and where the bed goes. They took all the walls out, everything, the cabinets, the whole 9 yards, and custom built everything from the floor up. I couldn't be happier with the interior. It's just I don't know, in my opinion, just second to none. We got 8,000 watts, all digital design stuff. 6 subs, 10-inch subs, 18 6.5 speakers, the components, and 4 tweeters. Alpine head deck. Just, man, I couldn't be happier. It's just awesome.
Well, do you run up and down the turnpike much coming in and out of Florida?
Yeah, I sure do. Every other week I come down, generally live in Wisconsin, somewhere around Chicago or Wisconsin, and come down to Miami, deliver somewhere in between. And about darn near the same route every week for every other week for about 5 years.
Well, that's a pretty good deal. That certainly helped with the home time. Speaking of home time, who do you got at the house rooting for you?
I got my wife Randy. We got married about a year ago. She kind of keeps things together at home while I'm gone. And I got my boy Cooper, and he's 7. Kind of my driving force to get home to see them too. Best part of the trip is backing in the driveway, setting the brakes, and 2 people there waiting on you. And give you a big hug and a kiss when you step out of the truck.
You probably caught yourself a whole lot of heck over this past winter month here with all that snow and everything. How'd you get that truck all shined up the way it is sitting right now?
When I started coming down when I was 21, 22, I met some folks down here, Jason and Shanda. They pretty much take care of me whenever I need anything. They travel with J&S Mobile Polishing. They do bring second to none. Whenever I need them, they're there. I couldn't ask for some better people.
Well, what do you go by on the radio there?
Boy, I've never really had a handle. I don't really talk on TV too much, but when I am, most people call me either Van Wag or my close friends call me Tons. Tons of fun. And just nameless stuff. Got one buddy that started calling me that, and everybody else kept going with it. So either go by Tons of fun or Van Wag, either of the 3, and I'll answer.
Well, I'm gonna address you as Van Wag there. How'd you get into trucking?
My dad drove a truck for as long as I remember. When I was finishing up high school, I didn't know which way I wanted to go. Just kind of lost. And my stepdad owns a trucking company. And I figured, I got a lot of my friends are farmers. Either farmers or truckers. So I was all about wanting to go hang out with my farmer friends, and I told my stepdad, I said, hey, how about you just put me in one of them trucks, I'll haul corn in the fall, and then I'll figure out what I want to do after fall, and go from there. Well, that was when I was 18, and this year I'll be 35, so apparently I haven't figured out what I want to do yet. I love it. Nothing better than this. Getting out here, being your own boss, you're not really, you got to be there when you got to get there, but you really don't have anybody telling you what to do. And my grandpa was a truck driver, and he actually hauled beer for Al Capone during Prohibition. He hauled beer after that and delivered it to bars and stores and stuff, and had his own truck. He was a Meister Brown man, and I got that picture of his truck hanging in my office at home, and it's just kind of cool that from my grandpa to my dad, my stepdad, and just right on down the line.
Well, you mentioned something that a lot of guys are curious about nowadays. Some of them have asked questions about getting into trucking, being their own boss, being an owner-operator. What would you want to say to somebody who is looking at doing that, or just fresh into being an owner-operator?
Keep your nose to the grindstone and just stay after it. I haven't been in trucking, since like some of these guys 40 years. I've only been in since I was 18. And things have changed since then. It's a lot tougher today, a lot tougher to make money. You just gotta stay with it. As long as you have that drive and determination, you're gonna be okay. You're gonna make it. You might not get rich, but you're gonna be able to pay your bills, and you're gonna have a good time doing it. And you gotta have fun doing this too. And if you're an owner-operator, this is obviously something you love. When you're first starting out, you just gotta keep after it. You're not gonna be home a lot, but as long as you keep after it, you'll be okay.
getting a good look at your bunk and everything. You got one of them old Chi-Town large car stickers on there. How are you associated with those guys?
I am actually the national vice president of the club.
Being a part of that club, how's that helped you? You know, some people are starting to become aware of what the Chi-Town large cars are, but how's it helped you?
Oh, man. I'll just give you a for instance. This just happened about less than a month ago. I was on my way home. Coming home from Florida, right? And heading up to St. Louis, my transmission goes out. I made one phone call, another phone call was made from that phone call, and within 4 hours, my day cab was on the hook, headed down to me on a tow truck. Then my big truck, this one, was picked up with a tow truck, taken back up to one of the other club brothers' place, and he got it fixed at the shop. We have a little bit of everybody in our club, so the guy that came and picked me up with the tow truck, he's in the club. The guy that fixed my truck, he's in the club. I mean, you just can't say enough. Everybody's there to help you. I mean, it's just the benefit of having club brothers and club sisters to help you when you're stumbling and when you fall is endless in this club. Anybody will help anybody and go that extra mile for anybody else in this club.
Going the extra mile, that's almost unheard of these days. But when you have people in your home court that do that for you, that's just, you know, you really can't measure that at all. That's just priceless. When it comes to being able to convey to somebody what they can do to make your job easier, what would you tell them?
Turn signals. Use your turn signals and mirrors. Pay attention to us around you. Just have some common courtesy. They put turn signals in a car or a truck for a reason. And man, does it make life easy when people use them. Drive around Miami, for instance, and somebody whip it right in, no turn signal. So if I could convey to anybody, four-wheeler, big truck, motorcycle, horse and buggy, just please use your turn signal.
Another question people were asking, based on the YouTube comments, were what some of the drivers were getting per gallon. How many miles per gallon are you getting?
Oh, I would say I'd have to, if I'm driving calm, cool, and collective, I might be able to push 5.5 out of it. But as long as I can keep the cruise control on, I'm not much of a cruise control guy. But when I set it and just let it ride, about 5.5. Windy out, I can get down to 4.5. Being stretched out like this just doesn't do real good for a truck guy trying to get good fuel mileage. Somewhere between 65 and 70 is a good speed. Just average that along, and that's probably how I try to get my best fuel mileage. I can't say that I get real good fuel mileage, but I try to get that anyways.
Hey, well, Van Wag, it's been nice to catch up with you, learn about the truck and about yourself a bit there.
I appreciate it. Thanks for riding along. It's been a real pleasure to meet you and run with you. I really like what you're doing, what you're putting out there for everybody to see, so everybody can see what this is all about. And my hat's off to you. Thank you.
I enjoy being able to shine a light on parts of the trucking world that people don't get to see. I appreciate you hanging with me, rolling through Florida here, and we'll see you soon.